At CameraNvideo Frames, we don't just record interviews, we engineer corporate communication experiences. Hi everyone and welcome to CameraNvideo Frames. In today's video, we are taking you behind the scenes of a corporate style interview production. In this shoot, we recorded Parth Mansukhani, a young cabin crew professional, sharing his experiences in the aviation industry, his learnings, challenges, and defining moments in the role. What makes this production interesting is that the entire interview was actually filmed on a green screen. Using a control studio setup, a multi-camera production workflow, and a real-time background integration, we were able to transform a simple interview into a polished, broadcast-ready corporate video. In the next few moments, we will show you exactly how this production was created before you watch the final interview. Before the final story reaches your audience, this is where it begins. A controlled studio environment, precision lighting, and cinematic capture. We used a 3-light setup to sculpt the subject, creating depth, separation, and a natural skin tone finish. A true multi-camera production shot on the Canon C80, the Sony A9 III, and the Sony A7R V. Because when it comes to corporate storytelling, we believe in using the best tools the cinema industry has to offer. The primary angle was mounted on an iFootage motorized slider, adding subtle cinematic motion to what is traditionally a static interview format. Behind the scenes, the green screen transforms in real time, allowing us to build immersive, brand-aligned environments instantly. This is the power of controlled production, where lighting enhances confidence, motion adds sophistication, and the environment builds credibility. And now step into the final frame. What you're about to watch now is the finished production, seamless, professional, and broadcast ready.
Hi, I'm Parth Mansukhani. I've worked as cabin crew for a few years now, and I've just started off, but I've had a few decent experiences. I've worked across many different crew dynamics, different passenger profiles, and various irregular situations on board. Those are the places where presence of mind and decisive action mattered the most. And we are trained to handle the passengers' safety, and especially the fact that they leave with a smile on their face when they leave the aircraft. The job is quite physically demanding, and it requires you to discipline yourself not only in your schedule, it requires discipline in your sleep, your lifestyle, in the way you make your life around those flights, and even in your health, that being both your mental and physical health, because both of those are very important. It really challenged me to discipline myself in those realms, because without it, you perform at a suboptimal level, and that in a global industry is quite unacceptable. I became far more intuitive socially because of the job, and I learned through watching people who were a bit more experienced than me in that realm. I think that was probably the best thing I could have done when I started out, and I feel like I have a good grip on the social nuances in other people, in colleagues, in passengers. I became far more intuitive socially with other people. The job really demands that of you if you are to excel and do well in that. And I learned this by watching people who were ahead of me, who were more experienced. And I really noticed the way that they used to calmly assert authority over the passengers and over their colleagues who were junior to them. Learning to do that in a way that is respectful and professional is very important, and that's something I think I've mastered over time. The job also makes you quite resilient in the other aspects of life. It makes you more resilient in the way you approach your day-to-day activities, because the job is so physically demanding, of course. I personally take pride in meeting those challenges. I absolutely love the way that I can make micro improvements throughout every subsequent flight, and you can have a little smile here or a little sparkle of the eye there and just a little inflection tone, and because of those things people perceive you differently, and sometimes you can use that to inspire people to avert conflict in bad situations, and you back all these improvements up, and that that expression of social intuition with the training that we go through, which is quite rigorous and can be life-saving in terms of evacuation and emergency health procedures. Overall, I feel like I've mastered this process of getting on the flight, taking care of my passengers, and making sure that all my SOPs are followed, making sure that the plane is secure for takeoff, and then within the flight, handling any sort of situations that may arise, whether that be passengers that have certain issues or a crew that are having some sort of conflict with each other. I find that intuitively in those situations, I tend to bring people together, and I think that's a quality that really will push me forward in my coming career. And I'm really ready to lead from the front right now by possibly moving to a supervisory position. Some things that I really enjoyed about the job was, you see the day-to-day interactions that you have with people from all over the world. When you live in one country, suppose where I come from is India, you see familiar faces every single day, but you don't get to see many different ways of life every single day, which you do get to do on the plane. Furthermore, I think one of the best parts about the job is that it is so physically demanding, and it helps you inculcate discipline in your life, which can be used to further that career specifically, and also to tangent fields in your life that you might want to also pursue. Getting to see new places isn't something that everyone gets to do, especially in this economy. If you know how things are nowadays, where people really struggle for their basic needs met, and having to be being a part of an airline, usually these things are taken care of for you. You get to see the world, you get to live a life full of dignity, and you really also get to save for your future. And whether that is whether you are staying in the aviation industry or looking to do something else eventually, that's a good platform for you to jump onto the next thing from. And to me, that's what keeps me going, honestly, because I want growth in my life. And growth in today's world is something that is precious and rare. So I think that's very important. Yeah.